Roblox has more players than ever, breaking all records, having more concurrent users than all games on Steam combined. But why does the game feel dead? Just look at the front page. It's nothing but trash games, low-effort clones, and pure brain rot. To understand why the game feels like it's dying, we need to go back a few years. Let's look at 2016. If you were playing back then, you remember a completely different version of Roblox. The games weren't perfect. They were actually kind of janky, but they had a soul. They were designed to be played with friends. It was simple. You'd join a server, meet some random person, and spend 3 hours trying to escape prison together. Games were unique. Roblox felt alive, full of players hanging out together and having fun. Back then, developers were just kids making stuff they thought was cool. But slowly, things started to change. Everything changed when the simulators arrived. Developers figured out a loop that basically hacked our brains. Click a tool, get a coin, buy a pet, repeat. Click a tool, get a coin, buy a pet, repeat. High-effort games couldn't compete with clicker games that could be made in a weekend. The variety we used to have just died. It was replaced by a wall of repetitive icons. And once developers saw how easy it was to print money, because the simulator code is so simple, everyone started doing it. But it didn't stop at just making simulators. Whenever a truly creative game, like a Dusty Trip, actually manages to blow up, it's over. Within 1 week, there are 100 identical copies flooding the search results. Even if game survives that, a massive corporate studio usually steps in and buys them. Suddenly, the game you loved is covered in microtransactions that are required to play the game. But the real question is, why does Roblox actually allow this trash to take over the front page? The answer is the algorithm. Roblox's system doesn't care if a game is good. It only cares about retention. That's just a fancy way of saying, how long can we keep this kid's eyes on the screen? If a 7-year-old stays in a brain rot obby for 20 minutes, the algorithm thinks it's a masterpiece, so it pushes it to everyone else. This creates an endless cycle where the most addictive games get the players, while the truly creative ones are left to rot with 0 players. The system killed the fun and replaced it with what's profitable, and there's a reason the company shifted its focus from players to profits. In 2021, Roblox became a public company. Suddenly, they weren't just answering to players, they were answering to investors on the stock market. And investors don't care about nostalgia, they want the numbers to go up. This is exactly why we don't see the old high-effort egg hunts anymore, even though everyone loved them. But they got deleted in 2021. Does that make sense now? This also hurts solo developers, because you just can't compete with $1 million studio budget. If you don't have thousands of dollars to spend on ads, your game is basically invisible. So, where does that leave us? Why is Roblox still growing if the games are actually getting worse? The truth is, to the people running the company, this isn't a downfall. It's a massive win. We're stuck in a loop where greedy studios make addictive trash, and the system rewards them for it. In the eyes of the corporate world, this is the best Roblox has ever been. But for those of us who remember what it used to be, this is the end of an era. This is the great downfall of Roblox.